Damn it. That's an order. Maybe just your love handles. I have love handles. Yeah. Little ones.
Truman, you're gonna be late.
Okay.
In The Truman Show, the charismatic Truman Burbank plays as himself in the most popular reality show ever. Living in a town of actors, he's the only authentic person. As he passes 30 years in age, he comes to see some inconsistencies around him that make him realize his world is a little too fake. Peter Weir, the director of the movie The Truman Show, was born on the 21st of August of 1944 in Sydney, Australia. Weir grew up in a suburb close to the harbour, always having an interest in cinema. He attended the University of Sydney for a short period of time, and in 1966, he acted on his interest in cinema years later after returning from a trip to Europe. He also met his future wife there. In 1974, he created his first feature film, which was a horror, and since then he has been in the industry for over 5 decades, moving to Hollywood in the mid-80s. His films are usually emotional dramas that focus on the main character with the environment in which he lives in, such as The Truman Show. He is said to have been influential in the Australian New Wave cinema movement, reviving the movie industry in Australia after a long time of hard decline. Peter Bisu was the cinematographer for the movie. This movie uses a lot of low angles, high angles, zoomed shots, and others. An example of an iconic shot from the movie is the one from the climax scene. When Truman climbs the stairs towards the exit, he appears to be slowly walking further from the camera, making him seem smaller and further from the spotlight he was in for so long. We can't talk about the cinematography without mentioning the spy cameras. In the movie, the fisheye lens is used to represent the cameras that watch Truman. They are used as the perspective that the Truman Show audience sees. In some scenes, Sylvia and later Truman deliberately evade the camera so they could perform something in secrecy. These shots are perfect for giving both the real and fake audience the impression that the act being committed isn't an accepted one.
The art direction, done by Dennis Gassner and Richard L. Johnson, does a fantastic job at portraying the world the story is set in. The cinematography and the art direction are tied together, as mentioned before. The spy cameras are a perfect example of the thought put into this movie, with all the secret cameras put into everyday objects. To add on to the portrayal of this world, it is made to look like a well-maintained TV set, using artificial cleanliness and bright colors.
The lighting is essential for the environment and also the mood of the scene.
Talking about the lighting of the movie, we'll take as a reference this night scene. In this scene, it can be seen that the main lighting comes from the sky, making it clear that it's the moon. However, comparing this to our days, this light is much more intensive than the secondary lights are the ones that are giving the actors angles, making it so that scene doesn't depend on the main light. In the daytime, the predominant light is the sun, but thanks to the camera and the environment, it can be seen that the lighting produces a very warm yellow.
The acting in the movie is incredibly well performed and makes the person watching feel a roller coaster of emotions. Undoubtedly, one of Jim Carrey's best performances, he proves to be more than a typecast comedian as he acts out this dramatic character in such a fitting way. Jim Carrey is the main star, Truman Burbank. In the beginning, he portrays the world he lives in perfectly, as do the people that live in it. Happy, carefree, yet exaggerated, and as fake as can be. Everybody talks enthusiastically and with very expressive facial movements, especially Truman. This is something we can see throughout the whole movie. Another example of this exaggerated expressiveness is from Truman's wife, Meryl. As he slowly finds out about the reality he lives in, he's still exaggerated, but not in a happy tone, more in a doubtful one. When people start to find out that he knows, the happy tone isn't shown anymore, with the actors being more concerned and serious. After a series of problems, the actors are more nervously focused on trying to contain the growing problem of Truman finding out the truth. In the end, Truman seems relieved and happy when he finally finds the exit, as also the audience watching. A girl he met, Sylvia, runs out to find him somewhere. These are the realest reactions in the film.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah,